So this is the speed animation you did of the magic sparkling crystal.
Yep, I've been doing a lot of animation experimentation with the Tusken Tales project that's coming out in May. So you had been like, hey, like our speed draws, you should record yourself animating something.
Right.
So I did. This is the scene where Tusken speaks when talking about magic items. So I've got the background, and then you can see I have several diamonds that I've set up in front of that crystal part of the drawing, and they're going to be different colors, which I'm changing their colors now, and then they're going to fade in and out as the video goes to give a sparkle effect.
I like that.
So, and now everything's changing color.
I like the way you drew the crystals themselves too,
Yeah, I like the crystal.
and the books. You did everything really well.
Yeah, it's nice. The angles are bullshit, but you know
It's fantasy. It's
Right.
fine.
it's non-Euclidean
Yeah.
wizard tower geometry.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to
magic.
make sense. I still have to draw the dungeon and the port that he's sitting in, like a dock city.
Oh.
He's on a hill and there's a lighthouse, and it's going to be a night scene with the moon shimmering off the water.
But this one is for magic items?
This one's for magic items, so this is just going to be part of an infinite loop going when Tusken is talking about magic items.
So this isn't one you use for like the story, it's for a specific, this is this item I found, this is what it does.
Yes. The plan right now is I'm telling the story of one of our table sessions called The Great Tower. But that takes a lot of time to do, and there's participation from other players, so the plan is only to have one of those episodes a month. So every other week, I'm just going to talk about something that I use as a dungeon master, either a monster or a magic item or a location.
Something that then other people could use in theirs.
Right, and the plan is to make those available for people through sheets downloadable through the Patreon.
Yeah. So you'll be able to see this little video talking about the thing, and then you could have the thing with something that you can show your players.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So it all ties together. Synergy.
Because I've seen you do a page that was really for the DM, talking about what the actual effects of the object are, versus one that looks more like it's from a spell book to explain to if you have a group that you're DMing for.
Right, for a lot of it, there's materials I already had for the table that I just have to format to be more...
Magic-y?
No, to look more like Dungeons & Dragons materials typically look like, even in a third-party publisher book.
Yeah.
So it's just a formatting issue of taking that sword that I gave a handout to a player with all the rules on it, and just formatting it to look and feel like a more official product.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do also like, at least for the monster so far, the spellbook looking thing, where it looks like something that was just found in the world rather than in the game.
the Book of Nightmares thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that we already have for other projects that's already kind of like spooky or spelly, so I'll just reincorporate those.
It's giving new life.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that one thing can have many aspects to it.
The one place I'm not saving time is NPC drawings, because my figure drawing has, like, even month to month, has greatly increased. So the stuff that I was using 2 years ago at the table, I would not release professionally. Those are getting redrawn.
Or at least tweaked.
Exactly, yeah. They don't have to be completely reimagined, but there's definitely, there's elbows I have to fix.
No elbows.
Elbows,
Oops,
man.
all elbows.
And fingers. Everyone's going to be standing behind a table. Like, hands down.
Pockets.
Yeah.
It's hands in pockets all of the time.
I don't suggest you go back and read the Future Leaders of the World comic I did coming out of college, but yeah, a lot of people standing with hands in pockets, so I didn't have to draw fingers.
See, I was just using my own hands as reference for every single thing I did, so it didn't matter if it was a big burly man or if it was a small child, they all had the same hands with my spindly spider fingers.
suppose we should talk about the animation. So what I've done at this point
Yeah, what are you doing?
is a lot of the diamonds, there's a thing called opacity. And in the program, if you click the little clock thing, you're letting it know that opacity changes over time. What I do is, to make things blink in and out, you'll see there's 3 dots there, because that's when the opacity is the last moment it's at 0, and then the middle one is 100, and then the last one is another 0. So it goes 0, fades all the way into 100, fades out to 0. And one thing that I don't know where I picked up this information, but I do know that I know it. I don't think it's reflected yet because I haven't implemented it because I'm just experimenting. But the fade out should be just a little longer than the fade in. Not necessarily like twice as long, but like, like a 3 to 4 ratio.
So it's there
Fade in,
and then
fade
slowly.
out. Yeah, the long tail.
I like that.
It makes it more pleasing to the eye.
How many sparkles did you have throughout?
8? 10? I didn't count at the beginning of this.
Just a bunch.
There's a bunch.
There's also a
There's
glowy.
2 of each color.
You had added a glowy at one point.
I don't know if that's in this recording. I think that's you suggested afterwards. But basically I took the crystal outline. I made it slightly bigger by only like 3 or 4 pixels. I placed it behind the crystal in the image, and then I just had that in it. So I think I'm just looking at the whole thing go now. I might not show up so well. There you go. Yeah, I can see a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they can also go to your Patreon and go to your YouTube channel and see the actual thing in an episode once those episodes are out.
Right, there is a new Tusken Tales YouTube channel so that we're not muddying the waters. So, YouTube, search Tusken Tales, Patreon, search Tusken Tales. I'm sure we'll have links in the doodly-doos and the beebly bops.
YouTube and Patreon, links in the description.